that the dude killed Joey, he they said he slapped this kid named Wolf, his cellie. So Wolf waited for him to go in the cell. When he bent down to go in his locker, he stabbed him in the back of his neck and just butchered him, took his eyes out and everything. Nobody knew what was going on, so there were dudes going up to the cell like, yo, you got wine? And he's like, nah, I just finished killing my cellie. I'm good. He just bugged out. He started throwing the dude's commissary. Here, this is on Joey, throwing it off the kid. And threw his gold chain off the tier. And when they said lock it down, they locked it down. When the CO goes through the town, that's when he discovered the bloodbath in there. Joey dead, he took his eyes out and everything. That was one of the worst stabbings.
Did you have to go clean up the blood spill for that one?
No, I wasn't a blood spill back then.
So Vic, man, you were one of my best friends, one of the first dudes I ever met when I walked into Big Sandy that first day. Me and you, we'd been in the trenches. But anyway, you end up going to federal prison, right? How much time do you get, Vic?
Yeah. I got 87 years to life.
87 years to life.
I did 20. Yeah, I did 22 of it.
22 years you end up getting out, right?
Right. Thanks to you and my lawyer.
If not, you wouldn't be on this podcast. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about your life, man. What do you get 87 years for?
Hobbs Act robbery, robbing drug dealers.
Robbing drug dealers. What was it like, man, to rob a drug dealer? Is there planning going on? Are you guys climbing off buildings?
Yeah, we used to be the best that ever did it. We used to rappel off of buildings. We'll do homework for weeks on one person, tie them up. If we did whatever we had to do to get these people drugs and money.
So how much were you coming off with, though, when you robbed drug dealers in New York City? What were you getting?
A lot of money. Sometimes we miss, but mostly all the time we got a lot of money in kilos. Like hundreds of kilos and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
At the end, you end up with 87 years, right?
At the end, I end up with 87 years to life. Thank God I gave it back.
Let's talk a little bit about what that's like for you, right? You get 87 years. How old are you when you get sentenced, man?
I was 33 years old when I got sentenced to 87 years. I'm 55 years old now.
You go into prison pretty much with a life sentence. What's it like for you when you hear 87 years? What goes on in your mind, in your heart, in your soul?
Shit. Well, they told me, they gave it to me in months, 1,044 months to life. So I had a good buddy of mine, a Lang King guy that's doing life right now, King Cojones. And I asked him, let me see your calculator. And I added it up and my legs gave out on me when it said 87 years. It don't sound a lot when it's in months.
But it's devastating, right?
Devastating. I mean, my whole world collapsed when I seen 87 years. Being that my lawyer had told me, why not take the chance and go to trial? Even if you blow, you might get the 27 years. He never told me about the consecutive 924C stacking. So I said, what the hell? What I got to lose? Let me go to trial.
They offered you 27 years. Your lawyer said, man, you might as well go to trial. You'll probably get 27 anyway, right?
Right. That was it. That's what made me go. I should have known better. I didn't know co-conspirators' testimony was evidence in the feds. I thought it was like the state. So I took the chance. Why not?
take the chance and you end up with a boatload of time, pretty much. Do you feel like your life's over with when you find out how much time it really is?
Oh, hell yeah. I thought my life was over with till 6 months ago. 6 months ago when I seen my case get overturned, that's when I seen some light at the end of the tunnel. Other than that, I thought I was dying in prison.
Let's talk a little bit about what it's like for you, right? When you do get arrested, you're going through the Fed system. Are you in Rikers Island while you're pretrial, or were you at MDC?
No, I actually got coerced into turning myself in, and I turned myself in to the marshal's office on 500 Pearl Street. And I think that was the worst thing I ever did. I thought I would get 10, 15 years and keep it pushing. That don't happen in the Fed. That's probation in the Fed.
So where do you go, though, after you turn yourself in? Where do they take you to? What jail? Do you remember?
They took me to MCC in my hand.
What was MCC like back then?
It was a little hectic. I mean, when I first got there, I was in the same floor in 5 North with John Gotti Jr. Actually, one of my co-defenders was his cellie until he decided on starting to profit. Then he kicked him out of his cell.
One of your co-defendants.
Yeah, one of my co-defendants. One of my co-defenders, yeah.
You've been around a lot of these guys, right? We were together in Big Sandy. Vic Amuso, one of your really good friends. Daydone, right? Joey
Louis Daydone, yeah. Louis Bagels, Victor Amuso, Mike Sessa. Yeah, I've been around a lot of good men. Johnny Petrocelli.
in our unit.
Huh?
Alley Boy was in our unit, right?
Alley Boy was in our unit. Yeah, he was riding with Victor Amuso.
What was it like, man, being around all them mobsters?
Yeah, well, it taught me a lot. I tell you that. It taught me how to keep my head up. These were good men, and I felt pretty good being around them because you didn't have nothing to worry about around them. They were good stand-up men.
No, Vic, what is the first federal prison that you end up in when you got your 87 years?
USP Canaan, where I met you.
Big Sandy.
I mean, Big Sandy. That was the first jail. Big Sandy.
He spent years in Canaan, but we met in Big Sandy, right?
Yeah. We met in Big Sandy. Yeah. I remember when you knocked the dude out in the handball court. Yeah, I remember that real good.
Remember you told me, hey, look, man, you're from New York, so I'm going to tell you right now, you can't be running around here punching people in the face because they...
Yeah, I had to talk to you a lot, man. You were the freaking hothead all the time. Yeah, your hands got loose too fast.
Let's talk a little bit more about, like, Big Sandy, some of the things that you've seen, things that you experienced. What was one of the worst things that you've seen, man, in Big Sandy?
The war between the Muslims and the white boy and A1. That was pretty bad. I mean, yeah, that was pretty bad. The way they went at it, they were throwing each other off the tiers, huh? Well, it started off. It started off. The Muslims went up to the white boys. There was 3 white boys making wine. The Muslims went up to them and took their whole batch of wine and then buck on paying them. So they got into an argument. All the Muslims surrounded them that day. They played it smart and waited a couple of weeks later and seen that they were going out, and they grabbed one of the Muslims, dragged him in the cell, and butchered him. It just so happened that another Muslim stood behind. He was on the back of the line growing a chow, and he happened to walk by the cell and look in and see one of the Muslim brothers getting butchered, and he started screaming. That's when all hell broke loose. All the Muslims started trying to get in that cell, but they couldn't penetrate them 3 white guys. They had shit that looked like machetes in there. And it just went crazy. So now, since they couldn't get to the three guys that tore this Muslim guy up, they just started taking it out on all the white guys. There even was a Christian white guy that used to cook for everybody. They grabbed him, beat him up, and threw him off the tier. This guy wasn't even into nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was pretty bad. It lasted a while because the COs couldn't get in. Every time they'll try to get in, they'll throw chairs and all types of shit at the door. But they finally penetrated, and I got to say, them white boys never got touched. The three white boys that did it.
Just vicious things happen there, right?
Yeah, vicious all the time.
Did it
Yeah.
affect you, seeing that level of violence in Big Sandy and USP Canaan, the places you've been? Did it affect you emotionally?
Especially for my last 2 years that I spend in Canaan right now, it's the blood spill, and I guarantee you, sometimes I used to do blood spill at least twice a day. So that messed me up a little mentally. But I'm dealing with that now, and I'm so happy to be out that I'm not letting it face me.
Let me ask you this. So people, some people watching, they don't know what blood spill is. So anytime someone gets stabbed or someone gets killed, they send inmates in to clean up the area after they're done with their little investigation. That was your
Right. It was, me and two other guys, Dex and Flacco. One was a New York guy, and the other one was a Nieta named Flacco. And we used to go in and clean up all this blood. Yeah.
Well, I know
It was a three-man crew.
I'm gonna take you back to Big Sandy, right? I still got some pictures. I'm gonna try to see if I can find them of us with Lou and everybody in the unit. We lived in the unit with Homicide Lou, right?
Right. That was one of my best friends. Yeah. He actually was the one that tried to stop me from getting involved when you got into it with your own people. And I wasn't trying to hear it, so I got into a little trouble too, because he kept telling me, man, you could start a war. And I kept telling him, that's my boy, man. I mean, you don't have to get in. So I kind of got into a little trouble behind your beat, but it was worth it. You're my best friend, so.
Man, you were my best friend, man, in Big Sandy, one of my best friends in life, man. And I definitely appreciate you.
That's how I feel.
The whole thing with that thing in the morning, you weren't out there to help me, but the dudes jumped me on the basketball court, whatever. But I was doing all right. You know what I mean?
They waited. They knew that I get up late, and they waited. They knew you was out there. They knew when to go at you. I remember the day they ran up in the unit. You remember that? And I was like, nah, it's not happening. I was like, yeah, 1-on-1. That's when they decided on doing that move.
I mean, they were going to probably try to come up there and butcher me, right?
Yeah, of course. Would you think them three dudes walked in there asking where your cell was? Of course they were coming to butcher you.
It didn't work out that way in the end.
Nah, I'm pretty sure when they seen all them New York blacks and Hispanics and even Alley Boy stood up. Remember that?
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, but you guys ain't doing nothing, Chad. You want to go 1-on-1 in the cell? We'll let you go in, and they changed their mind and left.
That morning, I'm out there, so some people know, I'm out there on the basketball court. Dudes I'm supposed to be cool with. Remember my right-hand man, Frank? I mean, they jumped me. They're out there trying to jump me, whatever. But I did all right, Vic?
You did great. You fucking dropped two of them. You whooped all three of them. I think they got that bad end of the stick, buddy. To me, I was fucking proud. That's why I kept asking for you to come back out. But I'm pretty sure it was them that said not to let you out because I was going to cause a war. I'm 100% sure that happened with Dennis and them. I remember that.
So then, let's talk a little bit more. Let's talk more about you and your situation, right? I remember one time we're in the unit, Homicide Lou, there's a problem with the other Spanish dude. He says, hey, man, you and Chad, man, come with me. We go into the other unit. Do you remember that day? I think it was with Mike.
Yeah, of course I remember that. Of course I remember that. Man. Yeah, But I really don't remember all the details. It's been so damn long. But I remember when he called both of us to go with him, but I don't remember exactly what happened. Man, you know my brain is burnt out after so many years.
Let's talk about this.
But
Lou was pretty well respected dude at Big Sandy. Pretty much, in my mind, he had the car, right?
of course, he definitely had the car. Him, Mike, and Vivi. All three of them had the car. I remember when he went at it with Mike. They went a one-on-one in the style. Yeah, I remember that.
Lou used to get busy.
Yeah, of course. Homicide Lou was no reverse in him. He was just on go time all the time. And
What's it like to be
your
around?
friend of mine too.
What's it like to be around a dude like that has that kind of power in a place like Big Sandy? He could call shots and make things happen, right?
It feels great because he didn't just call the shots for the New York car. Muslims, DC, everybody respect that man. I remember the day he made it in. They all got up in the mess on. I'm like, who the hell is this dude? And they all came up to him, DC, Muslims. Every freaking car knew who he was. You know what I mean? From the work this guy was putting in. Homicide Lou was the man. He's still the man, but he's out now. So I ran into him on the way to the FCI, and when he got to Atlanta, we were both in Atlanta. There was still the CO working in R&D that he beat up back in '96. And it just so happened he wasn't working, but his partner was there, and he recognized Homicide Lou, and he was like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he was like, come on, man, that was in '96. I changed. And he was like, nah, you can't be here. This dude still works. He just happened to be off, and you beat my man up bad in it. So Homicide Lou wasn't discriminated, man. He wasn't a force to be reckoned with.
Definitely a dangerous dude. That's what people watch prison movies and they talk about shot callers. That dude was the dude that they see in movies, pretty much, right?
Yeah, that was definitely him. That was definitely Homicide Lou. But he will also give you the shirt off his back, and he'll die for a homie on a heartbeat. He was the greatest one of the greatest homies I ever met in prison.
What was he like as far as a shot caller? Did he call good shots? Did he, make bad choices? What do you think?
He called great shots. I mean, he went with what was right. If one of the homies messed up, the homie had to go. If the homie was in the rights, he's ready to go all the way. So I'm sure he made great decisions. It was a great big homie.
Remember when the homie Flash from Rochester? He was the dude on the big black dude. He was on the gambling tape.
Yeah, I remember Flash.
His shit, yeah. Remember? And Lou told him, hey, man, you're not part of this car no more. And then he's like,
he kicked him out of the fucking car because he was a fucking punk, too. I remember that.
Wouldn't fight back.
Yeah, he wouldn't fight back. I believe they robbed him. And when I got to Homicide Lou, he was like, yo, go crush this motherfucker. We got the rest. And he fronted. He was like, get the fuck out the car. You're a piece of shit. He kicked him out. Yeah.
He died last year in an FCI, man. He had something happened. His heart busted something. He died, man. He never made it out. Flash never made it out, man.
Yeah. Well, went through as a Flash, huh? His life was a Flash? Well, I don't wish bad on nobody, but I don't know. Karma's a motherfucker.
So, we talked about Big Sandy, the things that you're seeing there. Let's talk about the New York car. We hear a lot of stories. What was the unity like in the New York car?
Well, it depends where you go. Like, Kanan, Big Sandy, a lot of us were tight, And what I respect about them is that they hard on that paperwork. Everywhere I've been, even in the FCIs, I mean, you got to have that paperwork or you couldn't live. You know what I mean? They were on that politics shit hard, New York. Not too many cars do that. And that's what I respect about the New York homies. They on their paperwork. They not playing no games. And they give you them 30 days grace period, maybe 45 days. And if you come out, you grab that care package and you come out to be dirty now, you might leave there in a stretcher. So I respect that a lot. Because you were around men all the time.
Talk a little bit about Little Will. Were you there when the Southsiders got at him?
Well, no, but I heard that after I left, they found out he was no good. He did some profits for his son, so they want to arrest his son. But he had 13 life sentences. He was close to that Black Hand, Bobby, and I hear he took that personal because he used to hang out with him all day, every day. And to my hearing, they took his eye out. You know, I don't know how that happened. That should have been in hands of New York, but like I said, I had left it.
Who do you think was the most dangerous car at USP Big Sandy?
I ain't gonna lie. I think it was the white boys. I think the white boys put a lot of work in. Then I think it was New York and the Crips. The Crips were pretty rough too.
Remember their big homie, that big ass black dude?
That big diesel ugly ass fucking dude, Face. Name was Face, remember him? Fucking, he was just not a pretty sight to look at, man. He was fucking diesel to go with it, you know what I mean? But they were the smallest car and they had a lot of fucking respect, I'll tell you that. They had shit on smash.
When you hear like, oh, the white dudes, but really what you mean is they were probably the most vicious and a lot of times on their own, right?
Yeah, definitely. They put that work in. I mean, they even put their work in on the cops too. I remember the day that they tried to search that guy, the young kid, in A1, and one of the white boys wasn't trying to hear that and went over there and just stabbed the CO. I remember that day. So yeah, they would put that work in, man. They wasn't fun. They would show that power. I remember when they killed Ace in the yard. They shot him in the back for stabbing that rat.
Right? Because Ace was one of the dudes that jumped me. I ended up getting a transfer. Ray stayed there. And eventually,
well, I happened to be playing cards on his poker table, and he told one of the dudes, "Hey, your man's gotta go. He ain't no fucking good." And this tall white guy, real tall white guy, tells Ace, "Nah, my man ain't going nowhere." And he was the owner of the table. He was the one with all the chips, all the money in front of him. He just forgot all about that, pulled out a knife and started stabbing the shit out the dude that was harboring the rat. Well, he didn't want to stop. They shot the warning shot. He wouldn't stop, and they just shot him in the back. Shot him right through the back. Killed him. Ace. I remember Ace.
Warren Back. What was his real name?
Yeah.
When he gets shot, what's it like, man, for you? Because sometimes when the gunshots start going off, it's like, you know, some people can't understand this. It's scary, but it's exciting at the same time. And then it gives you something to talk about in prison. What was it like for you?
I spoke about that for the next 6 months. It was like watching a fucking movie, a jail movie. This guy just stabbing a dude, all of a sudden, you see his back go forward. You hear a gunshot, his back go forward, and he's just gone. He's not moving no more. He's just dead. They just killed him, one shot. Hell yeah, that's kind of traumatizing for a little while. I mean, after I got over it, I would talk about that all the time, how they just shot him like that. You know? But I felt like I was watching a movie when I seen that.
Wildest things you've seen?
Huh?
Was that one of the wildest things you've seen?
It was one of them. I mean, I seen another one in Kane, and white boy, I don't think he ran with anybody. He was an older guy. There was another big white guy picking on his celly, and twice he took his celly, his food out the microwave. The second time he took it out, he smacked the old man's celly. The old man just got tired of it and just waited till the guy sat down. He put his food in the microwave. He warms it up. He goes sit down and starts watching TV. The little old man comes down. Nobody even knew he was going to do this. and just walks up to the side of him and stabs him with a fucking little flat right in the side of his neck. One time, boom, and tells him, get off the fucking yard. It was over. By the time the dude walked from there to the CO's office, he had emptied out. All that shit was coming out like a fountain. That was another one of the wildest things I ever seen. He just caught a body just like that.
What about Joey O'Kane? Were you in Canaan when they knocked his knocked?
Yes, I was there. That happened in F2. Yeah, I was there. He used to live with a kid named Wolf. That was doing 30 years. His hustle was making wine and making postcards. From my understanding, I'm not sure if this is true. Joey they say used to pick on him a lot, you know, and that particular day that he stabbed him, that the dude killed Joey, they said he slapped this kid named Wolf, his cellie. So Wolf waited for him to go in the cell. When he bent down to go in his locker, he stabbed him in the back of his neck and just butchered him, took his eyes out and everything. Nobody knew what was going on, so there were dudes going up to the cell like, yo, you got wine? And he's like, nah, I just finished killing my cellie. I'm good. He just bugged out. He started throwing the dude's commissary. Here, this is on Joey, throwing it off the tier, and threw his gold chain off the tier. And when they said lock it down, they locked it down. When the CO goes to do the count, that's when he discovered the bloodbath in there. Joey dead. He took his eyes out and everything. That was one of the worst stabbings.
Did you have to go clean up the blood spill for that one?
No, I wasn't a blood spill back then. And also, one of the worst things that happened in Canaan was that cop killing. They say it was the worst, Eric Williams. They said it was the worst cop killing by one inmate in the whole FBOP. This guy just butchered this dude. He started stabbing him as he was going down the stairs. I heard the CO try to get away from him. When he took off to run, he ran right into a wall and knocked himself out. The guy goes right over him. He's stabbing him. He thinks he's dead. He runs in the shower, takes a shower, goes back to the front of his cell and starts drinking a soda. He looks over, he sees the CO still moving around. He says, what the fuck? This guy's still alive. He walks up to him. He pulls out his radio out the side of his fucking holster and starts beating the CO in the head with the radio. The antenna comes off. The radio comes off the antenna. He was holding it by the antenna. It flies away. So the last thing I heard he did was pull out his knife, stick it in his mouth, and kicked it through with the heel of his foot. That was the last blow he gave him. They said that the CO's head became like a beach ball. So now, the CO is out on the floor. I guess he's dying. And it's count time. So now everybody the whole top tier was already locked in. The whole bottom tier was still open. So, but everybody runs in their cell and just closes the door. So the CO next door comes to get the CO in the unit, Eric Williams, the one they killed, for the count. And he sees everybody locked in, and he's like, holy shit. He realizes the CO is dead on the floor. He runs up to him, but he keeps looking around like, how the fuck this happened if everybody's locked in? The guy that did it steps out and tells him, yeah, I killed that motherfucker. He took all my shit. So that was another one of the worst things I experienced there. Well, I didn't experience it firsthand, but I heard him. I think he'd be in the jail.
You're at Keenan when this cop gets taken out, right?
Yeah, that was in 2013. I left in 2014 from there.
So after this happens, right? What's it like? Because you end up you leave Canaan, you come to Raybrook, we run into each other again, but eventually you end up getting jammed up again, and you end up back in Canaan. What was that like? What was it like after the cop got killed there? What were the cops like?
Oh man, still years. This was 9 years later, and it seemed like they were still looking for some get back, because this place is so shitty. I mean, staff, everybody there is shitty. Yeah, they still were looking for some get back. They still looking for some get back there. Uh, it's just horrible. Everything there, the living conditions. I was there 2 years. If we were out 4 to 5 months in the 2 years, it was a lot. They kept us fucking locked down. They kept making up some bullshit excuses. The lights, the system went down. It just for bullshit. They'll just lock us down, and the least lockdown it'll be 3 weeks. They'll open back up. 2 or 3 days later, they'll lock us right back in. Yeah, it was the worst when I went back. You can't compare it to when I was there for 6.5 years before.
They told you that they hated me over there, right? They hated my YouTube channel.
I asked them if I could do a interview with you on your podcast, and the SIS there was like, fuck no, fuck him. We trying to cut him off all through FBOP. He's a piece of shit. So, and they told me, if you keep riding him, and we're gonna come after you. And they did. Every time they fucking did a search down, they crushed my cell because of it. Like 3 times. I mean, pictures, everything. They were crushing me because of that. Just because I knew you. Because you were my friend.
They hated me. They don't even know me. They hated me for no reason.
Yeah. Well, you're an activist, Buzz. So they feel like you putting them out there just because you say the truth about the place. It's a fucking shithole. Everybody in Hole, I mean, the Hole is, if the Hole happens to get full, the whole jail's locked down it's just garbage. I mean, the way the whole administration is messed up there. That Warden Garza, he's the worst, man. This guy's the worst there, man. He just lets these COs do whatever they want. They don't care. SIS does whatever they want. It's just the worst, man. They're always on lockdown.
Worst prison you ever been to?
I would have to say, well, I would say they even. Big Sandy and because I was in Big Sandy first when a lot of murders dropped, and then I went over to Canaan, and I was there for more murders than in Big Sandy though, in Canaan. So, but I think they were equally bad, and they still bad, both of them.
Let's talk a little bit about this, because this happened in our unit, right? And I actually got in contact with him. Do you remember the white kid that was the Crip that pulled the fire alarm?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that like this today, man. He refused to say, the lieutenant walked in and he was like, listen, I don't give a fuck. I'm not writing anybody up, but whoever pulled the alarm, just say, you did it, and I'm just gonna leave it alone. But if the person don't come forward and say who pulled the alarm, I'm gonna come in here with 20 COs and I'm tearing everybody's cell up. So I'm like, what the fuck? So the Crips are walking up to him like, yo, hey, listen, man. Go up to this dude and tell him you did it, man. You pulled the fucking alarm. You should take the weight for it. Fuck that. I ain't doing none of that. Man, I felt bad for the dude after a while. They hit him so much. 3 Crips rolled up on him with locks and crushed him so bad. Well, I happened to be one of the guys that caught up. The lieutenant kept his word and came back with like 20 COs. I get caught with a fucking knife. Everybody gets caught. DC guys got caught. New York guys got caught with all types of illegal shit. So when they left, the lieutenants and all the COs left from catching us all, them fucking Crip tore this white Crip up, man. I mean, shit, it sounded like a rock hitting a coconut. They just dogged him. But I mean, I give it to him too. He wasn't no fucking punk. He left there talking shit. He left there calling all his homies a bunch of pussies. I tell you, he wasn't a pussy white boy.
He went in the cell with one of them first, and he won. Then they said,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he wasn't no fucking punk. I tell you that.
He's a tough kid. That was my boy, man. That was my buddy in there. So,
you're fucking tough.
Remember that knife that you had? It was like a steel rod, like this long, and it was a circular rod. And it was like a fire, right?
It was, 10.5 inches. Yeah.
You try to throw it in the washer or the dryer.
I did. I threw it in my net bag. I wrapped it up in a blanket and I put it in there. Remember Lieutenant Blue Baker? He was the one that called me. He fucking he ran in on me in the laundry and was like, hey, don't fucking hit the start button. And I hit the start button. That's what really got him mad. Because now he had to wait like 20 minutes for the fucking machine to reset to be able to open it. He was fucking furious with me. Yeah.
But let's tell the people how this thing works, though, right? You get caught with a knife. In prison, you can pay your cellie to go say, hey, you know what? This is my knife, right? That happens.
That's exactly what I did. I had a cellie, a Sureño kid named Droopy. Remember Droopy? So
Just said it.
I tell him, yo, listen, how much you want me to pay you to take this knife shot? I just got approved to go to Canaan, closer to New York. And he was like, shit, I owe some bills. That'll be perfect. The black man is about to hit the fucking yard and said, well, we all better pay our bills before he get out. So I was like, what you gonna charge me? He said, man, give me $500. Well, I didn't think it worked out because they still took me to the home. But about 2 days later, I see Droopy walk in. Hey, Vic, I come to fucking bail you out, bro. You out of here. He walks in with the captain. And he told the captain that he put the fucking knife in the net bag and told me to go. It all happened in my cell. So he told the captain, yeah, I was the one that put the knife in the net bag and told him to throw it in the washing machine. He didn't even know. He know that it was in there. So this is going to cause a war with the New York and the Sureños. So I think you better let him go, man, because it's my knife. And it actually worked out. It worked out 2 days later, but he came and bailed me out. And I took care of him, too.
Your cellie, do you remember when he'd walk in the lieutenant's office and he'd just steal all their tobacco, all of that shit, and come back?
Yeah, all they fucking chew and everything. They used to come back with cans of fucking rolls of cans of chew. Yo, Vic, and he'll buy me all kinds of munchies. Like, yo, Vic, I came up. I'm like, what's up? I got 6 fucking cans of chew, bro. What's up? They go for $2.50. So yeah, I remember that, man. He used to rape them people. Busking Jew.
Right in the lieutenant's office while they're in the back room and steal all their. Remember he stole their crab cakes and stuff out of their fridge?
Everything, bro. Hey, whatever wasn't hammered down was coming back with this fucking dude. Yeah, of course I remember all that.
I really like them dudes, man. I got along with a lot of them Southsiders. Him and Sad Boy. I like them dudes, man. That dude was a wild dude, man.
You don't remember the day that he was my cellie and I was new. I was green to that shit. And he comes up to me and tells me, hey, can you ask Homicide Lou if I could watch a little soccer on the TV? I'm fucking green. I go up to Homicide Lou and I'm like, hey, listen, my cellie wants to know if he could watch some soccer. He was like, man, get the fuck out of my face. Are you serious? You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to fucking take over this fucking TV. You don't ever do that. When we go to the West Coast, they don't let us do shit. Matter of fact, tell him he got to move out for asking you that. So yeah, Homicide Lou was fucking zero tolerance for shit. But I didn't know. I was green at the time. So I didn't know what was up. You know what I mean?
Did he make him move out of your cell for asking that?
Well, yeah, I had to kick him out that same fucking day for that. He had to move out. He had to go with his own people for asking that dumb shit. I didn't know no fucking better, so I go act. You know what I mean? He's like, are you kidding me? When we in the West Coast, they don't even let us look at they shit. We can't even walk by to looking at they shit. He was like, do you know what he's doing? Little by little, they'll start moving in. He fucking dead. Matter of fact, tell him he got to move in with his own people. Yeah.
He wasn't playing no games.
No fucking games. That dude wasn't taking no hostages.
Definitely a dangerous dude. For me, I always say that, like, when I was in Big Sandy, I was in Lee County when they brought the Southsiders over there. To me, I felt like they were the most dangerous group, gang, organization, whatever you want to call it, because there were so many of them.
Right. And not, but when I ran into him in Atlanta, we were both on our ways to FCI. He told me he got into it with another homie, Buffalo Bill. And they went knife to knife, and Buffalo Bill got him one shot right in between the rib cage, and it punctured his lung. He almost dogged him. But he got Buffalo Bill good too, though. But yeah, they went at it knife to knife, and they got each other. But he got to puncture the Homicide Lou's Lum. That's
Where was it? Was that in Lee County or where was that at?
I believe it was in Lee County, bro. I believe it was in Lee County. Yeah, they went at it.
County, I heard about that right after I had left Lee County.
Yeah.
You know, do you remember Emmett? Do you remember the Texas Mexican mafia dude, Emmett?
Not really.
I think you were in this, one of our homies were in the step down program. We were at the fence when his homeboys, he was the shot caller and they ended up stabbing him over there. Do you remember that in the step down program? Out in the
No, not really, because I didn't really speak with them guys too much. I mean, I've heard of something like that, but I don't remember it. I really don't remember the details on it.
You remember him from our unit?
Yeah, I remember he used to live in our unit, but I don't remember the details of the day he got stabbed. But I remember exactly. I believe he used to work in commissary too, right?
Used to work.
That was him. Yeah, I remember him.
Was getting high.
But I don't remember the details of why he got stabbed and all that.
You might not remember, but me and you were on the basketball court when he got stabbed. He was in the step down unit, and two of his homies stabbed him. Me and you were on the basketball court, and they hit the deuces, started shooting the guns. I remember that, man, like it was yesterday. That was something that I think affected me and bothered me because I actually talked to that dude and got along with him and shit, and just to watch him get massacred out there, it was wild, bro.
Do you remember when Droopy's best friend named Norky, Southsider?
I wrote
about when he got stabbed up.
Hold on, I wrote about.
Remember when?
Tell the story.
Yeah, remember when he got stabbed up? When they took pictures with him and everything, they put him to sleep, stabbed him up, and threw him under the bench, thinking he was dead. And he just fucking woke up, came out, broke the stick, and started going at all of them.
I write about this story in my book. I remember it 100%. One of the wild. That's something that we could touch on because these dudes, these Southsiders, actually thought they killed him, threw him underneath the bleachers or whatever, and he woke up, grabbed the push broom, and that's
the push broom. He fucking went at all of them, started hitting all of them. Yeah, that was something crazy.
22 years in federal prison. You got 87 years. I remember walking to the law library with you, and you were talking about, man, I got this lawyer. You had the one dude, I think he was a lawyer in the street. Then he went to jail. He's from Kentucky. You were fighting your case for years and years and years. Is that what gave you hope to keep going every day? Because that's a real question, man.
Yeah, of course. That gave me hope. You gave me hope. Norwood gave me hope too. You three guys were like, yeah, I knew it could happen one day. I didn't know when, but especially you, when you gave your 924 teeth back, I knew it was possible, man. When I seen you come home, and you always gave me your word that you ain't never gonna give up till I come home, that you're gonna get me home, and you helped me a lot, man. If it wasn't for that fucking judge that I had, that piece of crack that died, I believe you would have got me home, man, if I would have had a different judge with that compassionate release you did for me. That was one of the best compassionate releases I ever seen, bro.
So you're one of the people that I always cared about you. You were my partner, and not to put it like that, but we stayed in contact, and we met in Big Sandy, and we stayed in contact all them years. And I was I was here for you, whatever you needed, man.
Right, right. Every time, money, anything. You was always looking out for me, money with everything, bro. That's why I would never forget you, man. No matter what, anything you call me, man, I'm there, bro. You my brother for real. I would never forget the things you've done for me.
Are you shocked when I got out and I reached out to you?
Oh, no, not really, because I always made you for a man of your word, man. So you never gave me no doubt. So I knew you would get in contact with me sooner or later. But when I did get it, it was a little bit of a shock, but not because I didn't believe it, but I wasn't expecting it, you know what I mean? A lot of people say a lot of things and they forget, man. I'm glad to say you're not one of them, man. And I thank you for it.
I'm glad we remain friends, and I am coming. I'm bringing my wife and my kids. we're going to come to New York City and see you. We'll take some pictures. We'll put them up so people can see, right? But, you know, I
Yeah.
used to hear people all the time say, man, shit, I ain't got no friends in jail. Some of the best bonds I ever made in life, and my wife says, is all your best friends are in different places. New York City,
You
New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Baltimore.
you better believe it. Right now, I'm working at a pet supply and grooming place that's owned by one of my buddies that I met in Allenwood. And I came home and he looked out. He gave me a part-time job. I'm still there with him part-time. And he has really looked out for me. He looks out for a lot of convicts that comes home. He gives them a break to work there so they get on their feet. And yeah, I mean, some of my best bonds have been met in jail, man. I mean, right now, I don't think there's one person that I hang out with that I didn't meet in jail. I mean, being that everybody that I used to hang out with testified on me, you know what I mean? So,
But I want the people to know about you, right, Vic? We're gonna be totally transparent. You look real tired, right? I know you're working a job at night as security. Then you go home, you get dressed, you go back to the pet store. You're trying to make it, but life ain't easy, right?
it ain't easy at all, buddy. It ain't easy, man. Listen, man. But I tell you what makes it easy is the freedom, man. Freedom, man. I mean, I don't care what I have to do. I'll be a beach bum if I have to, not to go back to them places, man. No money in the world is worth my freedom ever again. You know, I missed 22 years of my kids. My kids are grown up. My grandkids are out there, and I still haven't had a chance to even break bread with my grandkids because of my financial situation. So yeah, I'm just happy to be out here, man. So, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to stay out for the rest of my life. I want to die with my family, not with strangers.
Hey, that's deep, man. You want to die with your family, not with strangers. I've looked out for you since you got out. I know Jay's looked out. I'm gonna put your Cash App up. I think it's Jay's, and he's gonna help you out because you just got out. You don't know how to work a phone. You don't really know what to do. You've been gone 22 years. You know, people donate on the channel. I'm gonna ask people, man. I want people to know this is my boy right here. This is my friend right here. This is one of my best friends in life, right? And times people donate money. They support the show. They supported some of the other people. I'm gonna ask people, man, to hit your Cash App, man. Anything counts. Anything we can do. I'm coming to see you, bro. Some people don't know this. I haven't been doing a lot of videos, but been flipping some houses in Detroit, helping out one of my boys in Pittsburgh, you know, on the verge of getting this really big contract possibly. And, you know, I'm going to try to, you know, put you in a position where, you know, you could maybe be doing some work and making some real money in your life. But for now, I know it's a struggle, so I am put your Cash App up and ask people to donate, right? That'll be in the description. But I want to ask you a little bit more questions about prison, about real life. Not other robberies, because you lived it. And people that don't you out here watching this video, they don't know that you are a very well-respected dude, known by a lot of people, hustled your ass off in prison to make it every day. Right. You know, all that time, though, Vic, what hurt you the most, man? What hurt the most, Vic?
What hurt me the most was being away from my family, man. From my family, my kids, my brothers and sisters, and one of the things that hurt me the most is the people that testified on me, that were the closest friends to me. That really hurt me a lot, but it is what it is with that. But number one thing that hurt me is being away for 22 years. Now I'm watching my kids grow up, you know, and all I look forward to now is being there for my grandkids, since I missed out on all my kids, you know what I mean? Family members have died. I couldn't attend. They don't allow you to attend no funerals. So yeah, I believe that's what hurt me the most, man, was being away from my family for 22 years, man. I mean, it seems like an eternity.
What would you do different in your life, man?
Take advantage of the years that I got left. I'm 55 years old right now. Whatever years God allows me to to enjoy. I would like to enjoy them with my family, with my grandkids. When I get financially situated, I will be in their life. I will be able to pick them out, take them places, being that I missed out on doing that with all my kids. And man, I would never take freedom for granted ever again, man. Ain't no money in the world worth that. I thought I was gonna die in prison 6 months ago. I was a dead man walking. God blessed me with another day. So I'm gonna make the best of it and stay out here for my family, for myself, for my friends, for all my new friends, and for friends like you, Jay, that keep me going, man. Tony, that just advised me to stay on that right path. I don't think I'll ever deviate from that path again. Matter of fact, I know I would never deviate from that path again. And for the record, I refused the night job because I didn't think the security job, I refused it because I didn't think my PO would agree with it. But I'm still in the pet supply and grooming place over on 138th and Willard. I'm still working there, and I'll be there for a while because it's a good friend of mine giving me this opportunity till I get on my feet.
Hopefully, man, hopefully we can help you get on your feet, right? And again, man, people that want to donate, man, this is my partner, man. I'd appreciate it if you're going to donate something to the show in the next week or two, whatever. Whatever you're going to do, don't do it for me, man. Do it for this brother because he needs it. His information is in the description. Anything you want to say before we get ready to go, Vic?
Yeah, for all those people thinking, let me try one more time that just came home, not worth it, buddy. Freedom is everything in life, man. Enjoy it, man. Don't ever put money or anything else ahead of freedom, man. It's not worth it, man. Take it from me. I was a dead man walking 6 months ago. I can't believe I'm out here, man. That's about it, buddy.
Well, listen, man, I definitely appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your story, your experiences. I know you're tired, man. Listen, Blood on the Razor Wire TV. I know you stayed up to do this for me, and I appreciate it. It's late at night.
Yeah.
Razor Wire TV. With respect, we're out.